Tailwind CSS utility first framework will help you to create a custom user interface quickly. It's a low-level CSS framework, so it's easy to customize. You can do whatever you think of using Tailwind CSS, and it can save you lots of time, and also your production bundle will be a smaller size. Nowadays, Tailwind CSS is so popular CSS framework. So why it's so popular? Let's find out. Number 1. Utility first framework. You can write CSS without labeling HTML. But it doesn't mean you are writing inline or internal CSS. You are writing Tailwind CSS, and that's the beauty of Tailwind CSS. If you work with Tailwind, in that case you will only work on HTML file, and you don't need to move to CSS file and then HTML file. You do not need to invent new class names, so you don't need to remember your class names. So if you work with Tailwind, in that case you can complete a project faster as well as you can code productively. Number 2, easy to customize. One of the main advantages of using Tailwind CSS is to offer great room for customization. In Tailwind CSS, customizing a component is easy and also risk-free. In Tailwind CSS, if you customize any components, it will not hamper any other components. The reason because all components are independent. Number 3, responsiveness. Nowadays, every website should be mobile friendly. The reason because visitors visit most of the time in mobile than computer. And if you use Tailwind CSS, its main approach is mobile first. So if you work with Tailwind, in that case, you don't need to worry about responsiveness much. If you write your Tailwind code properly, in that case, you don't need to worry about responsiveness. Tailwind will handle every single thing of it. Number 4, small file size. If you work with vanilla CSS or you use any other framework like Bootstrap, in that case, you can see your production file is too big. But if you use Tailwind, and when you will bundle your project, Tailwind will only use the classes you used on the project. In that case, you will have a small file size, and if you have a small file size, definitely your website will load first. Nowadays, fast loading website is must. So if you use Tailwind, in that case, your production size will be small and your website will fast. Now you might ask me, if I want to learn Tailwind, in that case, what I need to learn or what is the prerequisite? It's a CSS framework. So if you want to learn Tailwind CSS, in that case, you must have good knowledge about CSS, and also you will work with HTML file most of the time. In that case, you should have good understanding about HTML. So core fundamental knowledge is you should have good understanding about HTML and CSS. But most of the time when we work with Tailwind, we actually work on a React project or Vue.js project, and Tailwind have a good pair with these two frameworks. Most of the time developers write Tailwind on React project or Vue.js project. So if you want to learn Tailwind, definitely you should have good understanding about JavaScript and also NPM, Node Package Manager. If you want, you can pair Tailwind with other framework or technology, no problem at all. But core fundamental knowledge you should have, and that is HTML and CSS. So if I want to sum up why Tailwind CSS is most popular, number 1 is its utility first approach. Number 2 is if you use Tailwind CSS, you write less custom code. Number 3, you keep CSS files small. Number 4, responsiveness. And number 5, you don't need to invent or remember class names. Check out my Tailwind CSS with project course on Udemy, link in the description. If you think this video is helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if not already. Thank you very much.